And then he said, and don't come to work tomorrow. Come here to create excellence. Now, I didn't get that.
You were number one when you guys left.
Oh, sure.
They dropped from 1 to 26, and Capella's number one.
Yeah. No, I insisted, wherever we are, we're number one. Period. And I dealt with the general manager, said, will you accept that?
What's your superpower?
Relentless.
Here's a promise I'll make you. By the time you're done watching this interview with the founder of Ritz-Carlton, your life will change. I'm telling you right now, it's a big promise, and I don't normally open up an interview saying this. This was one of my favorite interviews I've ever done in my life with an 87-year-old man that was born in Nazi Germany in 1939. His father was in the military.
When I started Ritz-Carlton, I only took the job. Remember, I had a great job. I had golden handcuff. I had everything. In fact, people may hear it that worked with me. I was a young star in that company in Hyatt at the time, in charge of 65 hotels in the United States, food and beverage operations and so on. And I left for a dream, for a purpose, to create the finest hotel company in the world. Because they told me you can do what you want. A year and a half later, I got a call from Mr. Freund, who was the president of Hyatt at the time, and said, Horst, sit down, we have something wonderful for you. You have done a great job with your European flair and all those things. We have what is maybe the best hotel in the company, and you're going to be general manager. Okay, this is a moment, a dream moment, the impossible moment, the moment that you will never accomplish, but dream from. And here he said, you're the general manager of the finest hotel we have. And I said, I won't take it. And he said, well, you're not leaving the company. I said, no, I'm not leaving the company because I want to be rooms manager first. I never was rooms manager.
Stop it.
Yeah. And he said, we're giving you rooms manager. And I said, yes, but I cannot be the best general manager in the company unless I have been rooms manager.
Wow, what a message.
And he said, I'm coming. He was in San Francisco. I'm coming to Chicago and talk to you. You're leaving the company. I said, no. He came and said, no, I want to be rooms manager. He said, we have the finest hotel for you. I said, make me rooms manager, give me the worst hotel. A year later, he called me. He made me rooms manager. A year later, he called me and said, remember what you said? Yeah, I want to be rooms manager. He said, no. You said you want to have the worst hotel. We got it. And I got Pittsburgh, which was a dump. It's not a job that's the biggest gift a company can give you. The biggest thing a company can give you is purpose. Purpose and belonging.
You felt you didn't have that at Hyatt?
I felt that wasn't managed well. We still just hired people and then sometimes decided that employee is not good. Wait a minute. If that employee is not good, why did I hire him? It's leadership. Either I selected the right employee, or I oriented wrong, or I trained wrong, or I have the wrong work environment. So it's not the employee, it's me. And that acceptance was maybe there in some people, but it wasn't organized. And I knew if I organized my selection, my orientation, my training, and my sustaining the knowledge and create the right work environment, I could beat anybody. I still believe that. Sorry anybody, everybody thinks I'm very arrogant now. I think I could take any company in the world, make it the best company in the world.
You still believe that today?
Yes, absolutely.
Based on what premise?
Based on the premise that I would offer purpose, that I would be very careful in selecting employees and not just hire people. Come on, people are not selected, they're hired. And I would orient them to the job. I opened every single Ritz-Carlton hotel and every Capella hotel myself. I didn't go there to drink champagne. Well, I did a little bit too, but I went there to orient the employees as to who we are and welcome them. And role play to them how we deal with customers and train them. So I was connected to the, so I made sure. But what did I train? I trained what I knew the customer wanted, not what I want. Not what I want. Come on, I have been on a board with and many boards, and most CEOs, or nearly all, full of egos, full of emotion, full of insecurities, like we are as human beings. But behavioral analysts will tell you behavior cannot be taught after somebody is 16 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. How? Unless there's a significant emotional event in your life.
Makes sense.
And interviewing for a job is a significant emotional event. And what we do, we just ask questions rather than establishing standards right there, behavioral standards. And said, Patrick, you know, we have an attitude in our hotel, in our company. We are petted about it. We are very friendly to every guest. In fact, within 10 feet, we look them in the eye and say, friendly, good morning. Can you do that? What will you say? You will say yes.
Sure, yes.
And now, well, wait a minute, Patrick, I'm very serious about that. You will say yes again. I just established a new behavior in you for your benefit to be successful. Timeliness is very important to us. So I will start trying to stop, but I do that. And then orientation, first day of work, which every company does wrong, period. We didn't do that. I went to the orientation. I role played how to say hello in front of every new in every new hotel and every takeover.
Teach me.
I was the one.
Teach me. How do I say hello?
And said, okay, so you're a guest. Here's a guest coming. Within 10 feet. 10 feet is the essential moment, but within 10 feet, they make a decision about you as you make about them. Society lies about those things. You should look baloney. We're human beings, we cannot help it. We make a decision about the other person. So what decision do I want you to make about us, about me? I want you to make a positive one. That's why we wear the right uniform. That's why we groom right. And that's why we look them in the eye, no matter what we're doing. With 10 feet, it's a non-negotiable. That's what we do. We look them in the eye and said, good morning, sir, or good morning, ma'am. How are you today? Now, the day of orientation is a very significant day. You see, I interview you. Mm-hmm. I really want you.
Okay.
The job is open, but our orientation day is not for 10 days. So I'm going to say, Patrick, I'm going to put you on the payroll, but you cannot show up. You cannot. But if you show up, you're paid for the next 10 days. But that's the day you start working. Because I want you to have a significant emotional event when we do orientation.
Stop it.
Yeah.
So you hired me.
Yes.
You pay me those 10 days.
Yes.
And even the orientation is not in 10 days.
That's right.
Why are you doing that?
Because if I led you before without having the proper orientation, I didn't use the significant emotional event to teach you the right behavior.
And what is the right behavior you're trying to teach me? To pay me 10 days that I'm not working for you?
I'm repeating the things I told you during the interviewing process. The orientation is a day when we teach you again. Here is how we behave. Here's how the guest is important. Here's how we treat each other. You are part of something. Let me put it this way. How are people being oriented? I can tell you. If you worked somewhere, I can tell you how you were oriented. Everybody orients like that. If you come to work and the boss tells you the rules of the company. Here's what we do and here's what we don't do. And then you get a handbook with more rules. And then you get insurance papers and all kinds of papers. And you go through all this work. And that's the day of orientation. First day of work. And when you finish with that, the boss makes his pathetic team speech. We're a team here, yeah. Without giving purpose. Mm-hmm. A team is a group of people who work toward a common objective.
Sure.
Not given, just we're a team here. And what's next? Oh, now Bill, the new waiter, work with Fred. He's here 9 months and he knows the ropes. Somehow you're in rope business here now. You turn him over to Fred, and on the way to the kitchen, Fred tells Bill, the new waiter, this company is no good. That is day of orientation. Instead of the day of orientation saying, here's who we are. You're now part of us. And here's here's our customers. And we are happy when they're here. We respect them. Here's how we show them respect. By saying welcome, by responding to them, by looking them in the eye, by caring for them. That's our part. Patrick, we have to give human beings purpose, but we have to at the same time tell them the motive of our purpose. I opened every hotel.
I got it.
I also knew, all employees knew me. It wasn't them.
What a point.
It wasn't them in the corporate office. You have to overcome the them. Because if I don't know you up there, in my insecurity, I will blame you what is wrong up there. Because if I don't make it, if I can't live up by the rules, it's your fault you have rules. But they knew me. That's why the big thing that happened in Ritz-Carlton, is the empowerment piece, which was a nuclear explosion in all businesses when I said I empower every employee to make a decision up to $2,000 if a guest has it. Well, I could do that. They learned that the employee is a part of the company, not just working for the company. They learned that any manager, that every employee works in an environment of belonging and purpose. Do you understand this, Patrick? I would say belonging and purpose. So we go through all that. And then you have the precise numbers. And every year the precise budgets numbers. Everything's clear. But now I see the customer satisfaction, which was my key. On the end of the month, I see you are 86%. But 92 is the minimum standard. So I call you, Patrick, he said, Horst, no problem, I'm working on it.
I got it.
You will have careful customer service. You can dig into it. I don't have it. I don't look. I have no time for that. Was it front desk? Was it food? What was it? Correct it. Next month is 94%. Now, Patrick, now listen, buddy, you understand I cannot compromise that. You understand I'm getting upset. And that's what I'm appealing to every boss. He offered them to be part of something. Even Aristotle said, you cannot be fulfilled in life unless you have purpose and belonging. Why wouldn't we offer that to our employees? That is really my number one point. Offer them purpose, offer them belonging. Don't make them chairs. My maitre d', the first one, remember the one? When I left there after 3.5 years, he said, come here, look me in the eyes, promise me you never go to work. Promise you me not to become a chair.
This is when you're leaving.
When I'm leaving, 3.5 years later, when I was 17.
This is the guy that impacted you heavily, not the GM, but the other guy.
Yes. Promise me you to become a chair. Because if you just go to work for the function that you fulfill, you're a chair, you're fulfilling a function. You have to have a high intent. The high intent is excellence in what you're doing. And particularly, it's easier today because everybody complains about the millennials. But come on, learn how to handle them and do it.
I agree. I agree. It's a lot of time. Well, they've changed. They're lazy. They're this.
Come on.
Yeah, you become a softer leader.
You're the leader. You're the leader. You have to figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. So what would you say is your biggest gift? Like, what's your superpower?
Mine?
Yeah, what's your superpower?
Oh, relentless.
Relentless.
Yeah.
Would your wife say the same thing about
Probably.
you?
Yeah,
She would say you're relentless.
Probably. But in the positive way, take about wife, take about marriage. It's the same thing. What's your high intent? When I got married, before I got married, I saw my wife, and I was so much in love. I mean, come on. I mean, young man, you look, oh, wow, this beautiful, wonderful human being, and we're going to get married. And then I thought, wait a minute. I know friends are getting divorced because they don't feel like it anymore. And then I established my high intent. I will be in love for the rest of my life. In that moment, and that is model of leadership have intent, purpose. But then you have to commit yourself to it, not to have a pipe dream. And then you have to initiate the things that make it happen and keep focus on it. And that's where people break down. They focus all of a sudden on an excuse.
What was your philosophy in raising kids?
Raising kids, two things we want to accomplish, my wife and I. And please forgive me, everybody. We want them to be believers.
Okay.
And we want them to understand the difference between wrong and right, integrity. People with integrity.
That's it?
That's it. That's it. Those are the key things that we worked on, prayed for, and were successful.
Are they in the business you're in or no?
No,
They're not.
Not at all.
Is it 2 girls or 4 girls?
4 girls.
Okay, I'm going to make sure I get that fact right because 2 places said 2 different things.
Yeah.
That's great. So you got the family.
Even family, you have to have objectives. My objective was to be in love with my wife. And I am in love with my wife. But I work on my mind even. When I drive into the drive-in, the gate opens, I say, thank you, God, for my wonderful wife. I can't wait to take an arm now.
Affirmations.
You have to work on it. I mean, if you let, and I'm multi-minded on that. First of all, I want that for me. Secondly, I see the end of family happens, and that it will be the end of our civilization, unquestionably, if as family goes. So I am zealous about what is marriage. Work on it. I ask in every speech. I ask them, guys in this room, when have you asked your wife last time how you can be a better husband?
And she'll tell you. I saw that interview
and
as well.
after she cries, she will tell you.
She will tell you. Did you guys ever have a moment where it didn't work out?
Oh, sure. Many.
Really?
In between, where it didn't work out.
Where it was like close, falling out, big
not
fights?
Quite that, not quite there,
Okay.
but there was
Fights.
There was spats, sure.
Yeah. How do you overcome that?
Sure. Well, by sitting down and talking and admitting that you were wrong. It was my wife, who is 14 years younger. So I married, I'm 14, she's 26, and we have an argument, and I start screaming. And she said, why do you scream? Why don't we talk about it? Maybe you're right.
Oh my! She said that to you.
And I said, here, this kid is teaching me how to communicate.
Good for her. Wow.
And I realized I didn't want to talk about what if I'm wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Maybe you're right.
Maybe you're right.
Wow. And you guys been married now, what, 47 years?
47 years, yeah.
Unbelievable. Good for you.
Oh, it's great.
Good for you. Respect for doing that.
What a great thing.
Unbelievable.
I mean, look, what is this marriage? The only God-ordained union, the greatest union there is. Why wouldn't you work like crazy on it?
Mm-hmm. And she was a partner with you while you're building, traveling, moving, all this stuff.
Yeah. Wow. Let me tell you, I admire her for she raised children, and I was on the road. And there too, I come back and I said, here's what we're going to do. And she said, whoa. Here's what we have planned. And I had to learn in the beginning. I said, wait a minute, this is how. And he said, well, you weren't here. We had to make decisions. I had to learn to communicate that way and respect decisions that are being made with much more input and points that I wasn't even aware of.
You were not there.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs, what did he ask you when he was? What kind of questions was he asking you?
I wasn't involved in teaching him at the time. I was out in Asia at the time. But he came in to ask, how do we treat customers? What do you think make us successful? How do we make them successful? By saying hello. And he picked up, I know what he picked up. First contact. We teach, and that's what he got it. Most people don't get it even, what we teach. The behavioral analysts tell you, you make a decision about somebody when you come within 10 feet. So how do I make sure you make a good decision? But wait a minute, they make a decision about you. So how make sure that decision is a good one? That's why when you go into, they have somebody staying there right away, well-dressed. So say, welcome, can I help? What is the problem? And they take you. And we had learned that from the behavioral analysts. I work with the behavioral analysts, University of Colorado and Frankfurt. They said the decision is made about you the moment when we make contact. That's why we taught you when somebody comes within 10 feet, no matter what you do, you look them in the eye and say welcome and so on. Don't say hi. When you say hi, we are equal. But if I say welcome, and so, sir, and look you in the eye, I'm saying I respect you. But at the same time, I'm saying you can trust me. I'm professional. So we make sure that I hired kids from Center City who've never seen anything elegant in their life. So now we put them in a great outfit. We teach them not to use certain words. Don't say ever hi. Don't say okay. Say my pleasure, and so on. And 3 weeks later, this kid meets potentially with the chairman of the board of Bank of England, and it works. And it works. That's what he saw, and that's how he created the retail. And be impressed by the look of it. Have this positive in mind. Now we ended up to be in Tokyo and so on also. And when we opened Osaka, we were immediately voted best hotel in Japan. You know, I insisted, wherever we are, we're number one. Period. And I dealt with the general manager. Said, will you accept that?
Did you play sports as a kid? Where does your competitive fire come from?
What? Well, you have to understand, when I started off, particularly my grandfather, they all were embarrassed that I wanted to work in the hotel business. That's not what they did in Germany. You want to have a technical job. If I would have said roofer, that's honorable.
Over a hotel.
That's honorable,
Wow.
But in a hotel. So my father thought I would work as a waiter for the rest of my life. And I was disappointed. But then, of course, I had my successes. They were very proud. And so